Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, my dear students. How are you? Everything okay? Pakistan School Sulala. Subject General Science, my dear students. Grade 4. Subject General Science. Unit 5. Matter and its state, my dear students. My dear students, here is melting point. What is melting, my dear students? You can see here. Yes, can you define melting? What is melting process in the state of matter? We are studying Unit 5, Matter and its states, and here is our topic is melting. Can you define melting? Our melting point, my dear students? Yes, the temperature in which a solid changes into a liquid is called its melting points. Yes, you are right. The temperature at which a solid changes into a liquid state is called its melting points. Can you guess, my dear students, the melting point of water or melting point of ice? What is the melting point of ice? Yes, my dear students, you can see here the melting process. Here, the temperature at which a solid changes into a liquid is called its melting point. You can see, my dear student, here is a ice that is freeze and it is in solid state. When it melts, you can see here it will change into liquid state. So, my dear students, if you heat a solid, the particular particles of the solid begin to move faster and they have a lot of energy. They hit against each other and begin to move apart. So when this happens, the solid melt into a liquid. My dear students, you can see in this diagram, we heat a solid, the particle begin to move faster. The how melting process take place. So the particles when move faster, they have a lot of energy and they hit against each other and begin to move apart. When they begin to move apart, the solid change into liquid state. So, my dear students, the temperature at which a solid change into liquid is called its melting point. So, my dear students, the melting point of ice is 0 Celsius degree centigrade. My dear students, you can see here the next freezing. What is freezing process? So when water is cooled down, the particles lose energy and slow down. My dear students, the particle of solid move close to each other and become a solid. So this process is called freezing. Yes, my dear students, you can see here the process of freezing or in our surrounding. So you can see here the ice fully covered the vehicle. So my dear students, the particle of water actually lost energy and they slow down. They move close to each other and the liquid freeze to become a solid ice. My dear students, you can see here how the water change into ice. The water change from liquid state to a solid state. My dear student, you can see here again the freezing process. So the liquid water freeze to a solid state. My dear students, how it happens? So when water is put in a freezer, you can see clearly it cools down. The particle lost energy and they slow down. They move close to each other and the liquid freeze to become a solid ice. My dear student, you can see here. So the freezing point of water is 0. So freezing point of water is 0 degrees centigrade and the particle of the water lost energy and they change from liquid state to solid state. My dear student, you can see here how the crystals of ice develop, produce the freezing process. Clearly you can see here in this picture the freezing process, how the liquid change into solid ice, and here is the production of the ice crystals. These are called crystals of ice. So how they produce, my dear students? The particle of the water or liquid lost energy and they slow down their movement and they move close to each other and the liquid freeze to become a solid ice. You can see here in this diagram how the crystals of ice are producing. Yes, my dear student, you can see here the next boiling. So what is boiling, my dear student? You can see in this picture diagram the boiling point of water. So water boils. When water is heated, the bubbles appear on its surface. You can see here how the bubbles are producing, the formation of bubble process. So my dear students, the boiling point, the point at which a liquid boil is called its boiling point. Yes, my dear students, you can see here the boiling process. You can see the boiling process. The water is heated and the bubble appear on its surface. So what is the boiling point, my dear students? So the temperature at which a liquid boils is called its boiling point. So what is the boiling point of water, my dear students? Can you guess? What is the boiling point of water? Yes, my dear student, you can see here the boiling process, how the water is boiling. And what is the boiling point of water? Yes, my dear students, your answer is right. The boiling point of water is 100 degrees centigrade. So what is the boiling process, my dear students? So when the water is heated, as you see in this diagram, the bubbles appear on its surface as it began to boil. So here is the boiling process started. So the temperature at which a liquid boil is called its boiling point. So my dear students, the boiling point of water is 100 degrees centigrade. So boiling process is a heating process. My dear students, here is the next evaporation. What is evaporation? So the liquid water change into the gas or water vapors. So this change of state from a liquid to a gas is called evaporation. You can see here how the water vapors evaporate into the surrounding environment. So my dear students, the liquid water changes into the gas water vapors. This can happen even without boiling. And if you have some water in an uncovered pan, it slowly changes into water vapors. So my dear students, finally the pan becomes dry. This changes from a liquid to a gas is called evaporation. So my dear student, you can see here how the water vapors evaporate in the surrounding. Yes, my dear student. The next is condensation. So what is condensation, my dear students? So when a water vapors touches a cold surface, it changes to liquid water. So this change of water vapors into liquid is called condensation. My dear students, so condensation process you have observed in your daily life. So what is condensation, my dear students? Yes, my dear students, you can see here what is condensation and how it happens. So condensation process you can see here in this diagram, my dear students. So when you put some ice cubes in a glass, you can see here, you will see that drops of water form on the outside of the glass. You can see here clearly the formation of water vapors outside of the glass. So this happens because water vapors in the air changes into water droplet. So my dear students, how condensation take place in our surrounding, you can see here clearly. So this happens because water vapors in the air changes into water droplet. So when it touches a cold surface, you can see here these changes of water vapors are gas into liquid, and this process is called condensation. So my dear students, you can see here clearly the process of condensation.